So you found out about Scribble Jam mainly because you heard of a white rapper by the name of Eminem almost winning Scribble Jam, and that's how he created a big buzz and ultimately ended up signing with Dre.
Yeah.
What was your reaction the first time you heard Eminem?
First time I heard Eminem was, so he had these freestyles going around. Anybody that's in their 40s, late 30s that was around then and on the internet then would remember this. Before YouTube, before Napster even, like when you could just get MP3s sent to you on instant message, or like somebody would email it to you, like literally like, hey, can you send that to my AOL email account?
You've
like
got mail.
Fam, that's how it was then. And I just remember like Eminem had these radio freestyles, like before the real or not the real, Hi, My Name Is, before, I think the first Eminem song that I ever heard was Just Don't Give a Fuck. So the story of this is there were Eminem freestyles being passed around from his, like doing radio freestyles, like the Wake Up Show and shit like that. And I remember hearing it and being like, this dude is insane, bro. Like, he's great. He's like legitimately.
You knew he was white?
Nah, man, it's because he was dope. Like, to me, the thing about him being white was more annoying because I'm like, this is the only thing that people talk about when it comes to him. And it was cool that he was white because I'm like, I relate because I was a white rapper then before Eminem. Before I even heard of Eminem, I was a white rapper.
But what I mean is, like, when you first heard him, were you introduced like, hey, listen to this white rapper? Or you were just like, you just heard his voice and you're like, this guy's dope. And then you find out, oh, he happens to be white too.
I think that I knew that he was white before I ever heard his rap. Gotcha. I never heard a verse by Eminem. People were talking about him in like chat rooms. And I think he had like a tiny blurb in the source at one point.
Unsigned hype.
And I was aware that there was a white guy named Eminem that existed. And so I knew of him being white before I heard him. And then when I heard him rap, I was like, that motherfucker can rap. That's like every rap fan's first impression of Eminem is like, that guy's crazy, good as fuck. But so this was like late 90s. And I remember he signed with Dre, and I went to this record store called Street Side Records. So I worked at a restaurant called Macaroni Grill as a busboy. And I would, every Tuesday, I would take my tip money and I would walk across the street in the parking lot, and I would take the money that I made as a busboy and I would go to Street Side Records. It was in the same parking lot. And on Tuesday, I would go over there and they would have New Release Tuesday, because that's when new rap records came out. And I would go over there and buy all the dope new rap releases. And I remember I went over there and they special ordered Just Don't Give a Fuck on CD single for me. I was like, do you guys know who Eminem is? Have you ever heard of this rapper named Eminem? And they were like, no, but we have it in a catalog. And they special ordered the single for me, and it took like 2 weeks to get there. And I went and bought it. And the first time I ever heard Eminem was Just Don't Give a Fuck on CD single. And I had it specially ordered. You couldn't even get it in the store then. And I remember
the original version, right?
Yeah, the original version. Yeah. Not the album. That the Hi, My Name Is hadn't come out yet. That shit wasn't out yet.
The original recording is different than the one that ends up on the album, though.
Yeah. It was that one. Yeah. It was that one. So it was Just Don't Give a Fuck. And then the B-side was Brain Damage, the two songs from Slim Shady LP. And I remember both of those songs blew me away. I was like, these fucking songs are amazing. But the big thing with him was, so I'm hearing this dude, he signs with Dre. He hadn't even released Hi, My Name Is yet. And then I'm starting to hear that there's this rap tournament up in Cincinnati that he got second place in called Scribble Jam. And they were like at the record stores in Kansas City, there were posters for Scribble Jam, like hip hop festival, Cincinnati, Ohio, graffiti, DJing, emceeing, breaking, the biggest underground hip hop festival in America. And I remember being like, fuck, dude. And like you would hear about it. You'd see pictures of it. Everybody would be like, bro, you got like Scribble Jam is the shit. There's thousands of people there. Like it's the biggest rap festival. And I remember there was a poster at one of the record stores that I went to. And it was like, to sign up in MC battle, email this email address. And it was a guy named Kevin Beecham. First person that ever gave me a real opportunity. Because I emailed Kevin Beecham and I was like, hi, my name is Mac Lethal. I'm a Kansas City rapper. I've won a bunch of battles in Kansas City on a local level. I promise I'll come and put on a good show at Scribble Jam if you let me enter. And he said, all right, I'll tell you what. He emailed me back and he said, I'll tell you what. Email me, or no, not email me. Send me a tape of you battling. And if I like it, I'll let you in. This is 99, 2000 when he did this. So I made a tape of me freestyle. Bro, this is fucking so embarrassing to admit. I used my mom's computer that had like the computer I recorded my first album on. I used the multi-track recording thing and I made a freestyle where it sounded like I was rapping in a room of people against another person. And then I overdubbed multi-track recordings of me going, oh, like I stacked my voice up to sound like I was at a party and I was the crowd. So I'm sitting there and I made it sound like, yo, you motherfucker, this and I'll kill you and blah, blah. I don't remember what it was, but I'm dissing an imaginary rapper. And then I'm going, oh, ha ha, yeah. And I made it sound like I was in a crowded room battling somebody. I took that and then I took another freestyle and I just like rapped over a beat and I sent it to Kevin Beecham and he hit me back and he was like, all right, man, you're in Scribble Jam 2001. We got you down in the MC battle. And I was like, fuck, dude, this is crazy. Like, this is the first opportunity I ever got that was like a national look. That was like a look where I'm sitting there going like, this is not Kansas City. This is not local. This is Eminem. This is Atmosphere. This is like Scribble Jam, Juice. The realest motherfuckers go to Scribble Jam and battle, and I'm in. And I'm like it was the craziest. Like I'll never, bro. I worked at this place called Pegasus Communications, selling satellite dish internet. This very early version of wireless high speed internet. You would buy a satellite dish and put it on your house. And it was like supposed to be high speed internet. The company immediately went under and I was a salesman there making $300 a week plus commission. Terrible job. And I remember I got the offer to go do Scribble Jam and I was like, I quit my job. Like, fuck it. Like we're driving up there. We're going up there. I'm in a battle. I'm in a fucking enter Scribble Jam. And the first battle was against this dude, Cashmere the Professional, and I fucking destroyed him. Like, and it changed my life. Like that moment, you can see it on my YouTube channel, Mac Lethal versus Cashmere the Professional. That is the first official moment. That is me going from like completely unknown on every single level to actually stepping in to what ended up being a fruitful independent rap career. Like that's the moment that it all changed.
All right. Well, before we go down that path, right? You forgot that when you worked at Macaroni Grill with your tip money, you got some of that Mickey's malt liquor too.
Yeah. My man did research. I love it. Yeah. Mickey's malt liquor, baby. I would drink the 40s, or they had these things called grenades. They were these little bottles full of, and bro, I would fucking, yeah, man, that would be rap CDs and malt liquor were my, that's what I like to spend my tip money on at Macaroni Grill.